My wife, 25F, and I, 30M, have been together for 5 years and married for just over 3 months. Today, she told me a few weeks ago that the mechanic that she often goes to leaned into her car while she was at the shop and tried to kiss her. She said she kissed him back. My wife and I met in college. We've always been like best friends, had consistent great sex, and overall just good chemistry. We've always trusted each other. About 3 years ago we had a disagreement about wanting kids, and it was the first time we talked about it. The talk ended up with us taking a break. We weren't living together at the time, though we only lived a few minutes away from each other. Anyways, a few weeks after that we were back together. She admitted something to me. She said her male friend had come over to console her and he kissed her, but she immediately rejected him. She said at that time, she felt lonely and genuinely just wanted to talk to anyone who would listen. I was not mad or upset with her in this certain situation because I know of her mental health issues and self-esteem issues that come along with depression and past trauma. I do not think her intention was to kiss him at this time. This man was a local mechanic who always did work on her car, often for free or a discounted price. I told her I was not comfortable with this scenario after this and didn't want her to go to his shop anymore. Fast forward to 2025 and we bought a house together, got married, and have been living together for the last 3 years. I've always trusted my partner 100% of the time. We share our locations 24/7 and are very comfortable with using each other's phones daily. I 100% believe she would never intentionally cheat. About a year ago she started going back to this mechanic because again, he would either not charge her for some work or give her a big discount. Money was tight and I told her I was still uncomfortable, but if she could use him for cheap labor that's fine. He has tried to make weird comments or advances and she immediately would shut it down, even though he had a girlfriend and a baby at home. My wife and I started couples therapy about a month ago and just had our first appointment. We decided to go because we had many miscommunication problems that would cause fights or disagreements because neither of us could communicate to each other in the right way over the years. We would eventually come to an agreement, but it would take days before anything would happen. I would stonewall, she would yell. She said she was unhappy because of our communication problems and she felt like we were not growing together as of recently, so we agreed to seek counseling because neither of us wanted to throw away our relationship. The night after our first therapy session we went to dinner after so we could celebrate working together on our relationship. I had told her that her saying she was unhappy was constantly playing in my head, and it made me wonder if the therapy would even help. But I was willing to keep trying and doing the exercises the therapist wanted us to do. Fast forward to today, I come home from work and my wife is sitting there crying saying that she has to talk to me about something. She tells me that a couple days after our appointment she went to get something fixed on her car. I can verify and it was definitely broke. Anyways, she said the mechanic leaned into her and then kissed her and she kissed him back. At this point I am angry with her, saying that I trusted her and this is the second time this man has tried to make an advance on her. She said he attempted to text her multiple times after the appointment and she would immediately shut it down. She was willing to show me any messages and say that he cannot talk to her like that. He knows of me and knows that we are married. I asked her why she would even do that and she said she felt lost and that our relationship doomed to fail and over after I had told her that her saying she was unhappy was constantly playing in my head. She said she feels terrible and in that moment she doesn't even know why she did it and felt nothing. As a matter of fact, we've had sex multiple times since this occurrence. She decided to not bring it up right away because she wanted to pretend everything was normal and didn't want to put more strain on our relationship. She brought it up to me today because she felt like I had been working so hard on our relationship and everything finally felt normal between us, and she has had this cloud looming over her head and feels guilty. She was sobbing and crying the whole time she was telling me this and she said she was so sorry and feels like shit. And nothing that I can say would be a bad as she's beating herself up in her head. And wanted to let me know that it was nothing I did and it was her insecurities that lead to this. She said she was scared to block him originally out of fear of retaliation as she's been victim to that before with exes. I told her that it's stupid of her to go back to this shop given the circumstances and it all could have been avoided. Has her on zero social media, only text, has no idea where we live or work. I am glad she told me, but at the same time I am torn and confused. Even if we were in a bad phase of our relationship, I would never reciprocate something like that. I guess I don't know how to move on. I obviously love her. I want to be mad, but I don't want to punish her either by shutting her out. We had a very long talk, and at the end I told her for now I just needed some time to myself.